Well, Katia, you filmed a really unusual yacht yesterday called K+, and because this is podcast, so essentially audio rather than video, I really need you to describe it to listeners.
Well, it's definitely a very unique design. So 38.2 metres, built by Maiora, which is a Sardinian brand. And she's black, first of all, very distinctive dark hull and superstructure. And she's got, the first thing I notice is the aft deck. So it's a very long, almost like an explorer yacht, if you can imagine, flat aft deck. But the whole area is not for tenders and toys, so it's completely clear. It's just for leisure. And then a very high superstructure, so very high forebody, and kind of like a very strong structure around the bow. Almost looks like there's like a recessed well in the foredeck, but there's not. It's just that the way the deck is designed, it comes out straight, and then there's like a structure at the front. So, am I allowed to say that a few of my followers?
Please do.
A few of my followers have compared this yacht to a ski boot, which I don't think is the most flattering description. And actually, I found it funny at first, but then having shot the boat and spent the whole day on board, I really have come to understand the design, and it's actually extremely livable, and all the design choices that they've made have been done at the expense, if you like, of having an extremely well-designed and enjoyable boat.
And don't you think it's funny? People complain about yachts looking like wedding cakes. They go, oh, it's another wedding cake yacht. And so somebody does something very different and they go, oh, it looks like a ski boot.
Yeah.
You can't satisfy some people, can you?
No, you absolutely can't.
And I think it's great that they've really gone off-piste with traditional yacht design to produce something totally different. And it was very different on the interior as well, right?
That's it, yeah, very kind of, they described it as like a penthouse-style loft. And the layout was very interesting. It was very unique, actually. And sometimes we use the word unique to mean, not quite sure that's to my taste. But actually, in this case, it was unique in a very novel and innovative way. So I'll give you one example. So there were two galleys on board. One was the kind of crew galley in the crew area, and a second galley. Guess what that was?
On the flybridge.
No. That'd be quite cool, though.
It would.
That would be very interesting. I like your thinking, but it was actually, so you know the deck I mentioned earlier, so the long, flat aft deck, was attached to that. So you know how normally you might find an interior beach club, which is like a gym or a small spa area. This was actually given over to not a fully fledged galley, but galley facilities, so a full hob, full oven, full sink, and loads of storage, like absolutely bags of storage for food and drink. So
I like that. You know, I've been fantasy shopping recently with Italian villas online, and one of the things I've really liked is when they have an outside kitchen. Not a barbecue area, because barbecue areas are great and you can buy really nice, big, substantial barbecues, but these have whole outside kitchens.
A summer kitchen, some might call that.
It?
Some people would call it that, yeah.
Posh people.
Couldn't possibly comment. But no, it's a really great thing, because as you said, you can have a little teppanyaki grill or something, but actually having a full area where the chef can make you a meal, it means it's perfect if you actually want to dine on that aft deck, which I'm told that the current owners does very often, because why not? It's right by the water, you've got a bit of wind protection on both sides, so it's really the perfect setup. You can just have someone right there making you a nice meal. It was lovely.
Now, we had a couple of concerns about this from my perspective. One was that the broker was very worried that the weather would be bad on the day, and Slava and I made a call and we said, no, let's just go for it. And actually, from what I hear, the weather was fine.
It was beautiful, yeah, it was very nice.
Wind was low, so it was easier to fly the drone.
Wind was low, yeah, absolutely.
Sea was flat.
Not mirror flat, but yeah, it was pretty flat.
And my other concern from a filming point of view was the fact it's black. And then I remembered that many years ago, we call these years BS, because it's before Slava. We filmed a black Mangusta called Neoprene.
So now we're in AS after Slava.
Now we're, yes. PS, post Slava. No, he's still with us, so it's not a PS yet. But I was really worried about Neoprene because it's a black yacht, and I thought, will you even be able to...
As matte as well, right? So it actually smudges everything, you're going to show up quite
So I thought, is it just going to look like a shadow on the sea? Will you even be able to understand what you're looking at there? But actually, it looked magnificent, and it was the most watched video that we've ever done with 6.5 million views. And talking to Slava yesterday, Slava, you said that the black actually was a benefit rather than a disadvantage. Because when it comes to colour correcting the video, it's a lot easier with a black yacht, and he's confident it's going to look great.
Yeah, I think you told me earlier, and Slava probably as well, that the white can look a bit overexposed, and when the sea mirrors the the reflection of in the hull, it can get a bit tricky when you're colour correcting.
And now the broker was actually on the boat, wasn't he? Edo.
Was, yes.
Tell me about Edo. Tell me about the experience of working with a broker on the yacht.
Well, as we mentioned, so we actually said in our last podcast that we did, it's unusual to have the broker on board, and then we've had 2 shoots in a row where the broker's been there. I think it really helps the experience because you have someone there who knows the boat inside and out, for one thing. You also have a second person there to help you manage the crew. Not that, the crew on K Plus are actually fantastic, but if you need someone to kind of communicate to the crew that we need, okay, sorry, we actually need 20 minutes more, or we need because K Plus is a very nice swim platform at the back that comes right the way up, like a transformer or Maiora situation. So, we need that to be raised up or raised down. We have someone there to help kind of convey our requests, So I think it was great. It was he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's actually one of the 2 brokers on board, 2 brokers who listed the boat. The other one is Gabriele.
Yeah, and that's something that I wanted to pick up on for the benefit of people who make the effort to listen to these podcasts. It's good to give a little bit of behind the scenes. Edo is a junior broker.
Yes.
He's been moved up from the intelligence department where they gather market intelligence.
Deep data, they call it.
Deep data, because it's an American company, so they call it deep data, to fulfill his ambitions of becoming a broker. This is his first really important listing, and he's worked hard to get it. But I think it's great that he's been put with a more experienced broker so that he benefits, and also the owner of the yacht will benefit from a more experienced hand as well in getting the yacht sold. Yes,
I hope so. And I hope we translated everything that makes the yacht so special into the video. It's quite hard, and actually one of the challenges is the presentation sometimes, as you know. Sometimes the presentation doesn't flow right, and I had that on K Plus, so I knew what I wanted to say. I had my script ready, I had my storyboard ready. It just wasn't coming out quite right, and I was stumbling over my words, and I said to Slava, I'm so sorry, it's like the 15th take, and Slava's there yeah, we can go again. And sometimes it just goes that way, so I really hope that in the end we got there. But it's really discouraging as well, when you keep saying the wrong thing and you keep being, oh God, I've messed it up.
It happens to me a lot. As Slava will tell you, sometimes we're filming and I'll say, what is the matter with me today? But the video is made up of a lot more than just the presenter and the presenting, right? You've got the camera work's important, the yacht itself is important, the editing, the colour correction, the choice of music, and then you have the presenter. So you've got to remember that when the final videos all come together, if you felt that your presenting was not as good as you would have liked, it's just one element of a whole, and I'm sure the video will be fantastic.
Look at you mentoring me. This is what I'm here for.
and actually, if all goes well, we'll have published that video last week. And I know that Yarrick yesterday, when I said if all goes well, he said, oh, will go well, I'm 98% sure. But actually, Katia pointed out that it's not just about getting the video finished, but also the broker needs to be in a position to publish it, and they're not quite there yet with being able to publish it to the public that the yacht's available for sale. I'm confident they will be, but that's why I say if all goes well, we will have published that video last week. Final thing to say is I got some real good feedback from Yarrick and Slava about the crew. They said the captain was hilarious.
That's true. The captain, all the crew were great. You know what we had on board? They made us a full meal. We had gnocchi, caprese salad, and some pizza.
Absolutely
nice.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was very good.
Great. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope the viewers enjoy watching it, and I really hope that people enjoy listening to this podcast. And if they do, I don't know yet how it works with podcasts. I guess you subscribe. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel.
You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and don't forget to leave us a comment. We love reading all of your comments.